Good morning, good afternoon, and happy Sunday,
Sunday,
Sunday.
Sunday.
We're so glad you're here. Today is February 7th. We are into our second month of 2021.
Wow.
Wow,
Time passes.
time passes. We are going to begin our service as we always do. We rise together and face the Nagel Yisrael, or if you don't have a flag of Israel, put it in your heart. We rise together for Hatikvah. So now it is time for Torah. You may be seated. We are today talking about the Torah portion called Mishpatim. Can everyone say Mishpatim?
Mishpatim.
Which simply means
rules.
These are the rules. And we have quite a bit of rules given in this week. Now, if you remember last week we talked about rules, specifically the 10 Commandments, and I made sure that everyone knows there aren't just 10 Commandments in Judaism, but there are
613.
613, and as soon as we finish with the 10, we get some more. And here they are. Now remember, we also talked about the sharing of leadership. So we hear here in this Torah portion, two things. We hear about the 70 elders of Israel that Moses appointed to help him. And we hear about Aaron's sons who help him run the tabernacle that they are going to build in the wilderness. And so one of the things that we know about helping someone, we talked about this last time, in order to help somebody properly, you need to do things the way they want them to be done. Now, in my house, that looks a lot like emptying the dishwasher and putting all the dishes away. Or if you're going to change the laundry from the washing machine to the dryer, it means you're supposed to close the washing machine as well as take out whatever dry clothes were in the dryer out of the dryer and not just add the wet clothes on top of them.
Right.
But there are many interpretations to how to help. So if you don't know how to help, ask. So, in this Torah portion, Moses writes down the commandments and delivers these rules to the people. All right, well, we're going to continue now with our tefillah as we turn together to page 3.
Page 3, that's my favorite.
It's my favorite too, and we rise together for Baruch. And now that we are risen and we're all warmed up and ready to pray, I ask you my question, how many God is there? One God. So let's turn to page 4.
Page 4, that's my favorite page.
My favorite page too for Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Excellent work, everyone. Please be seated. It's now time to talk about our Midah of the day. Midah. So, our Midah of the week is justice and fairness. And in Hebrew, Cantor?
Tzedek.
And what is the famous line in Hebrew about tzedek, Cantor?
Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof.
And what does that mean?
It means justice, justice shall you pursue.
In that quote, there's the power of saying justice twice. Tzedek, tzedek, the justice, justice, the absolute justice shall we pursue.
And some people interpret that repetition of tzedek, tzedek as meaning not only justice, not only do the ends justify the means kind of a justice, but pursuing justice in a way that is itself just. Going about things the right way.
And another way to say justice, Cantor, is?
Righteousness?
Righteousness, which implies a little bit of religion.
Oh.
Right?
That too.
Righteousness means that when we think about what is just and what is fair, that religion plays a part, that our Jewish teachings can help us understand what is right, what is fair, and what is good. And so when we say that someone is a righteous individual, it means that they're following the idea of justice according to their own belief system. So I ask you, what are your belief system? What makes things just and fair to you? Cantor, do you have something overarching that makes things just or fair to you?
Yeah, if you drop any person into a situation, would it be fair for any random person?
Right. That's a great one, Cantor. And I think about that a lot too. I say, would I say this to my grandmother? Would I do this to my own wife? Would I let my sons do this, right? And so that is a great thing, Cantor, absolutely. That means that if you were to replace you or anybody else in the situation with somebody else, even your grandmother or your favorite person in the world, would that be the right thing to do? That's a great way to think about it. I like to think about the idea of making people feel big. Meaning, I want to make sure I'm not making anyone feel small. I'm not making anyone feel silly or not smart or not right. I want to make people feel big, feel good about themselves. That's my measure of, is this right or just? Think about what your own is as we go through this week ahead.
It's time for the Hebrew word of the day.
It is time for the Hebrew word of the day. Now, we've been working on family members. Mm-hmm. And so now our Hebrew word of the day is uncle. And uncle in Hebrew sounds a little bit funny.
It's true.
Cantor, how do you say uncle in Hebrew?
Dode.
Dode. Dode. We have some really good friends in Michigan who call me Dode Scott.
Really?
Uncle
Scott.
Dode Scott. And we'll get to that part next week when we do Aunt. But yes, so Dode Scott. Think about who you can call Dode in your life. So, Cantor, how do you say uncle in Hebrew?
Dode.
How do you say Dode in English?
Uncle.
And how are we going to remember it?
Dude. Dode, your uncle is cool.
Dude, your uncle is so cool. Yes. So, uncle in Hebrew is?
Dode.
And Dode in English is?
Uncle.
And now we have the Hebrew word of the day.
Yay.
Well, we've come now to what I like to call the central portion of our worship, which is tefillah, also called Amidah, which is our standing prayer. So guess what? Let's all rise together as we turn to page 6.
Page 6, that's my favorite.
Page 6 is my favorite. For the Amidah, we haven't done it in a while, so we're going to do the whole shebang bang. Yep. And let's get to it.
Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Vehanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagein, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magein Avraham, Vezrat Sarah.
Page 7.
Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Ata, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umchayeh, Umotz Miach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat al hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol.
Page 8.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha, Vikara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch haaretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir, Shimcha bechol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu vehu Yashmienu, berachamav li'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohai Tzion, ledor vador. Hallelujah.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha. Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha.
ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד.
Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha. Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha. Excellent work, everyone. You may be seated. And it is now time for our closing song. We will sing our song of peace, O say shalom, which can be found on page 9.
Page 9.
Page 9,
That's my
that
favorite.
is my favorite. So let's sing it out for peace together.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, והכל
Happy Sunday, everyone. Sunday,